This is Poll the People, candid interviews regarding candidates for president. Here's a passerby. Sir, aren't you warm in that overcoat?
You bet, but I don't mind suffering for George Wallace. Why, I got room for 85 more Wallace buttons when I'm wearing his overcoat.
Why are you for Wallace?
'Cause he knows how to keep labor in place.
Well, I've heard that Mr. Wallace may have the support of some of the labor people.
That's what I'm a-saying. Oh, listen, he's got them supporting him, but he ain't supporting them. He's good at that. Look at his record. When he was governor of Alabama, he had a lot of labor behind him. And when you can have the lowest workman's compensation rate in the United States and no minimum wage law and still trick labor people into supporting your brother, you're a real executive.
But what if labor catches on to his real attitude toward them?
George Wallace ain't gonna let him catch on till after November the 5th.
Why don't you catch on? Vote for the people's person, Hubert Humphrey. This is Poll the People, candid interviews regarding candidates for president. Sir, may I interrogate you?
You talk tacky to me like that and I'll knock your head off.
No, I meant, may I ask you a few questions about the presidential race?
That's trouble with you pseudo-intellectuals. Always bringing race into the picture. George Wallace don't go around talking about race all the time.
I'm not talking about racism. I mean the presidential race.
Well, I can't talk for them other two fellers, but I know George Wallace belongs 100% to the white race. Them other two might even be Caucasians or Occidentals, far as I know.
Then you support Wallace. Why?
Because his party's got a broad base. Why, he's backed by the Klan, the Birchers, the White Citizens Council, the American Nazi Party. You can't get a broader cross-section than that. And another thing, George Wallace don't stand for these governmental giveaway programs either.
I see. Do you work here at the post office?
No, I just come down here to pick up my government soil bank check.
Check all the candidates, and you'll check your ballot for Hubert Humphrey. This is Poll the People, candid interviews regarding candidates for president. Sir, what do you think of the various campaigns?
Well, I ain't for 'em, but I think Wallace and LeMay have done a lot for the church.
For the church?
Yes, sir, for the church.
Well, what are they doing for the church?
They're putting people back into it, that's what they're doing. Why, every time they make a speech, the people go a-flocking back to church in droves. General LeMay held just one news conference, and even the reporters started going back to church. You listen to the general, and if you don't drop down on your knees and start praying, you're an atheist or a darn fool. And it's an interdenominational movement, all faith, a running back to church because of George Wallace and General LeMay. Yes, sir, when General LeMay announced he'd use nuclear bombs, he did more to turn America back to soul-searching than any man since World War II.
Search your soul and cast your vote for Hubert Humphrey. This is Poll the People, candid interviews regarding candidates for president. Who do you support, sir?
Are you a member of the press?
Yes, sir, I'm a broadcast journalist.
Then I don't want to talk to you.
May I ask why?
Because the way you played dirty with George Wallace and Curtis LeMay, going around printing and broadcasting everything they say, why, you've hurt their campaign with them dirty techniques.
But that's a role of the press.
Yes, but can't they have a few secrets? I mean, if General LeMay said we ought to bum 'em back into the Stone Ages, you don't need to go a-bringing it up all time, do you? You can hurt the Wallace campaign that way. Scares the voters. Even scares me when I think about it. And the way you keep a-bringing up how Dick Nixon got mad when he lost back there in 1960. Or was it in the 62 loss? Well, whichever one, that hurts the new image Dick's built. Why, it's just like scraping the paint off a shiny Edsel.
Read the truth about them all, and you'll vote for Hubert Humphrey. This is Poll the People, candid interviews regarding candidates for president. Sir, what is your name?
It's unlisted.
Unlisted?
Yeah, it ain't nobody's business what my name is.
I see. Well, tell us, sir, what do you view as one of America's biggest problems?
People won't stand up and be counted no more. Everybody's afraid to get involved. What we need are the principles of good old George W.
George Washington?
No. George Wallace. I'm a 100% Wallace man.
Why, may I ask?
Love.
Love? You mean George Wallace stands for love of fellow man?
Heck no. I mean he's gonna bust them love ends wide open when he gets elected.
What do you see as the main difference between Nixon and Wallace?
Accent. I just don't want to see a feller with an accent like Nixon's in the White House.
What do you think of Humphrey?
When it comes to that guy, I don't think. Well, if you'll lift your foot, I've got to go.
Lift my foot.
Yeah, you're standing on my sheet.
Think, and vote for Hubert Humphrey.